The other one was like, look at the old guy, Ratzinger.
Bartholomew?
That fucking Ratzinger guy.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who had to step down. He's got a...
Because he was probably fucking his, like, attendant or something.
What does it have, like gold stars? Yeah. Well, he was...
Didn't he, like, retire?
No. He was responsible for moving pedophiles.
Uh-huh.
And moving them to
How does that make him different
places.
from any other fucking
Well, because
pope?
one of them he did where he moved this guy and he went on to molest 100 deaf kids.
100 deaf kids?
100 deaf
Jesus
kids. They
Christ,
moved him
dude.
to some place like a school that takes care of deaf kids.
Damn.
They would just move people, man. The fact that that's a real thing.
That's insane.
And that we all know about
and
it.
then deaf. You couldn't, like, you moved him to the deaf kids?
Wouldn't be able to say anything about it.
He's
They
sneaking
wouldn't
up
know
on
about-
him? Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, that's brutal.
How many fucking stories?
200.
200
damn.
deaf kids?
Get his numbers right.
Oh, my
Get his
God.
numbers right, dude.
200 kids were...
The Will Chamberlain of molestation.
Wow. Several American bishops repeatedly warned them that failure to act in this matter could embarrass,
the church. Oh, God forbid the church gets embarrassed.
Jesus Christ. According to church files newly unearthed as part of the lawsuit. Embarrass us.
Embarrass
hey,
us, dude.
Mikey, you're fucking too many
Come on,
kids.
dude.
This is embarrassing.
Come on. This is like when I slip on my shoelaces.
Yes.
This is like-
This is embarrassing.
Oh, you sucked off 800 little boys. Well, I got some egg on my face.
I spilled coffee in my lap on my way to work. It's embarrassing.
That's so fucked.
What the fuck,
I know.
man?
I can't believe I don't mean to sound like hack college, freshman year of college atheist shit here, but it's like, they do that. How are you going to be in a church? How do you go to a fucking church every week when it's like the Pope was just shifting guys around and giving him, not only shifting around, putting him to the most molestable kids. He put him into the deaf kids. He didn't put it to like the fucking, the school for like jacked children where they could defend themselves.
So what do you think that is? You think it was just always a part of the church? Like, and people just started talking about it later in life?
Fully. 100%.
So how does one church get so connected to that?
Well, I just think because
Priest guilty of abusing deaf children in Argentine schools. So this is in 2019.
Recently, yeah.
19.
The previous one was like 10, 12 years ago. This is
Oh,
recent.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I think if you look at the history of the fucking Catholic Church, they were like, popes were like poisoning each other and fucking all the time. And it's like, even the thing where priests can't have kids, it's like, you look at that and it's like, were they just trying to not cover benefits? Like that's my sincere guess is that the Pope at the time was trying to save money because it's like truly that's really what I think, and like because like the Greek Orthodox Church, not saying we don't have fucking no one fucks. I mean, I'm sure a couple guys fuck kids, but it's like you get to have a wife in the Greek Orthodox Church, but the church covers your like family's living expenses and shit. And I really think like the Catholic Church was just like nah.
I think the origin of it was the priests were like rock stars. Because if you think about if priests could fuck whoever they wanted to,
he's
and they
blinged
could
out.
run
They
and
look
have
like
relationships.
Migos. They got the necklaces.
They look like
Yeah.
rock stars. They're the ones who get to talk in front of everybody, and they have a special relationship with God.
Oh,
and
God told me you have to suck me off. Actually, I saw it in a vision.
and you got to realize, like, up until like when was Martin Luther?
I don't even fucking.
Whenever that was,
Yeah, the Protestant
There's
Revolution.
a great Dan Carlin
Oh,
hardcore
fuck yeah.
history on that, on
I love
Martin
him.
Luther, and so he was the first guy to make the Bible interpret it phonetically so that people could read it.
Yeah.
Because everybody was just like
It was in Latin and no one read Latin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is in
1507.
1507. So think about that. And then up until 1507, you just had to listen to the priest.
Yeah.
You had to trust that what he was. So that guy's a rock star.
Yeah.
He's decked out like a wizard. He's standing in front of everyone with a golden cane, and I bet he's fucking everybody.
And he probably
For another 400 years after that, though, the Mass was in Latin, so you had to know Latin to understand what was even happening.
Wow. For
until,
400 years after that, until what year?
About somewhere in the 70s or 85, depending on where.
Oh
where
my
your church
God.
switched.
That makes sense.
But you could still read the
that
Bible.
totally
at that
makes
point, right?
sense. You could read the Bible, but that guy's still talking this voodoo language, dressed like a wizard.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the Vatican, dude, that's the real eye opener.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the Vatican on an edible,
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
and when I was walking around the Vatican, it kicked in while I was there.
Yeah.
So I took it, and then I'm walking around, and as I'm walking around, I'm going, "This is all a pedophile cult's booty, like all their
Absolutely.
pirate booty."
100%.
Like
Yeah.
if you really think about how many people have been involved in these pre-scandals, like what is the number?
Oh my God. Throughout like history, God knows.
God knows.
Yeah.
Imagine that with any other thing. Imagine that with carpenters. Every time
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got
yeah.
your house built, your
Yeah.
kids got fucked.
Look, the fucking deck is pretty good though, huh?
You gotta keep
like
the
grilling out here.
carpenters away from your kids. Don't ever let the carpenters babysit your kids. Imagine.
Yeah.
That would be fucking
Yeah.
insane. We'd
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
we gotta abolish carpenters.
Sorry, we're
Everyone's
getting
gonna
you
learn how to
shelves.
build their own
Yeah.
house. But it's when things are like a part of society for a long enough time, and we
Yeah.
grow up with them, we just accept them as being like a normal thing. Not
Yeah.
that anyone's normalizing abuse, but everybody. It's
They
not.
were though. I mean, the
If
Catholic
you
Church
say,
was doing
if
that.
you say Catholic priest, people think abuse.
100%.
It's a
Yeah.
instant connection.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're all doing it. I'm sure
Right.
most of them are absolutely not
Most of
doing
them
it.
aren't, but a couple
most of
put
them are
up
great people.
A couple of them are putting up some real numbers, some real molestation numbers.
Look at this. The Vatican revealed Tuesday that it over the past decade has defrocked 848 priests who raped or molested children and sanctioned another 2,572 with lesser penalties, providing the first ever breakdown of how it handled more than 3,400 cases of abuse
Yeah.
reported to the Holy See since 2004. See, imagine that with any other business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Any other industry.
I know.
Self-help.
Yeah.
You know, it's like every time you went to a trader, they fucked your kid.
Yeah.
This is insane.
I know, dude.
It's
fucking
and
wild.
it's a real thing. It's
I
like
know.
people are going to get mad at us for even bringing it up.
I know.
But it's like,
Well,
how
that's-
can you get mad at something that's so insane?
That's my favorite. When they asked Bill Burr about that clip is the funniest thing where they're like, "Don't you think you went a little too far with the Catholic Church jokes?" And he was like, "Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far?" It's like that's it right there. It's
that's it
fucking
right there. It's
ridiculous.
perfect.